Well, hello there. Today it's January 2nd and time for me to do the Rob Walker's 2024 vinyl tag. And he starts off his questions with your favorite purchase of 2023. And I've got to say, Taj Mahal Savoy, world's finest ballroom. I really enjoyed this record a lot. Basically, Taj doing standard music you would have heard at the Savoy Ballroom. Does a great job of it. So, Rob's next question is last record you purchased or bought in 2023. Well, in 2023, on December 31st, I went to the record store and I dropped a large amount of cash and got, I think, 28 SKUs. But this is probably the best of the bunch. Got a shout out to Steve Carlson on this. He's been talking about Fela Ransomi Kuti, Africa 70, for a long, long time. And I saw this in my used shop. It was a little pricey, but it was Christmas. It was time to get some goodies. So that's number two, record I most recently bought. Can't go through the whole list. It's prompt number three. Two records that came out in the same year. You might have noticed here I got Commander Cody on the table. This book is a real good book, and there's a page here I wanted to read, and we're going to talk about the two records that came out in 1975, Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen, and Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen, Tales from the Ozone. So, by the end of 1973, the Lost Planet Airmen knew our record company, Paramount, was going down. So we thought it would be a good idea to team up with their country label, Dot Records, seeing how we were a swing band. Not a good idea. We played the 1975 CMA convention in Nashville and got booed off stage. Take a bath, get a haircut, etc. Paramount tanked as predicted, and our management hooked up equal monetary deals from both Warner Brothers and Columbia. $500,000 each. Wow. I had never talked to any bigwigs at Warner ever, but Bruce Lundvall, the president of CBS, called me at home and convinced me we should sign with him. When I called my manager to tell him to go with CBS, he told me that everyone in the band had voted the band was going to Warner Brothers, and the vote was 7-1, the one being me. At that point, we were still on the hippie system with everybody getting a vote. The band had also grown way top-heavy and was bound to crash. We had 8 musicians, 2 secretaries, 5 roadies, and a manager buying Marin County real estate while the rest of us struggled to pay the rent. Our one giant bus and a large truck later, we were bankrupt. We recorded 3 great albums for Warner Brothers. They got us 1 top 40 hit for a week on the charts, Don't Let Go. Then let us fade along with their payola scandal. Life was slowly unwinding anyway, so I said the hell with it, smiled, and faced the camera. Kind of like Marlene Dietrich is doing in this piece. And this is a piece of art that Anyhow, so these 2 Commander Cody albums, which I bought both of them when they came out, because I am a Commander Cody guy for a long, long time. And they're both great albums, but this is the last album they made as this band. They kind of fell apart because they ran out of money. Okay, next prompt. Music from one decade. Well, I'm pretty sure he meant a decade like the 60s or the 70s, but if it's up to me, the decade is 1965 to 1974. If I can't do that, I'll go with the 60s, but 1965, 1974, that's a decade right in the middle there. Alrighty, band from Manchester. Well, I had to look up what bands are from Manchester because I'm not from Manchester. And Herman's Hermits. This is the soundtrack, Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. They're from Manchester. There's my record from Manchester. Next prompt. Band I listen to the most. I'm going to say it might be this guy right here, Maurice Tanny. He's got 6 or 7 CDs out, no albums. He's recently come on the Little Village label, no albums, all CDs. But he makes some good music, you know. It's and I have a streaming. Well, I have all my compact discs are on my computer, and they get to. I can just play them any way I want through my big stereo. And when I'm not listening to records, I sometimes will, play playlists. And Maurice Tanny might be the guy that got the most plays this year. No questions. Now, 7 7-inches. Well, this was one. Took me a long time to figure out what to do. And I ended up putting them all away. And, well, I didn't think I don't normally go with 7 inches, but I have some, and these are some good ones. Turns out I went with 8 because I couldn't cut it back any farther. The Tartan Horde, or the Disco Brothers. Which is it? Bay City Rollers, We Love You, and Let's Go to the Disco. Everybody Dance, and the Roller Show. Great little single. Here's one. Haruki Zombie. Haruki Zombie. I was fortunate enough to see this band act. They didn't last very long. This is a limited edition, number 355 out of 500. But it's pretty interesting music. Half of Haruki Zombie is Arinda Fink, and the other half is, what is her name? She's from Montreal originally. And they put on quite a party. Let's just put it that way. Next up, another band I saw at a show. This band was opening for Joe Carrasco at a club in Pacifica, which is like 60 miles away. I don't get to Pacifica very often, but this little band, they were fun. They were selling a single. This single is Jimmy McDougall and Let's Drink Alone Together. And I just like them. I like them a lot. I have no idea it's on the Rumble Strippers. Who knows? Next up, Leela and the Snakes. Got a chance to see these ladies once. Jane Dornacker's the big face on top, and I think the one by my finger is Pearly Gates. There's the back of the album, the single. On the ASP label, we got Pyramid Power and Rock and Roll Weirdos. Both great songs. Jane Dornacker, We Lost Her Too Soon. Let's see. No, this one here is Pearly Gates. I follow Pearly Gates on Facebook, and she's been coming out of a cancer recovery recently. Uh, but a fun single, the only thing they ever released. This next one's another one-off for Record Store Day. Cho and Dasheen is the name of the group. I guess that one's upside down. It's a cool looking label. The back. Oh, I guess I can do it like that. And the front of this cover. And I had to save the hype sticker because I don't even remember who's in this band. Jake Bellows from Neva Denova. I saw them once. Orenda Fink, Todd Fink. Todd is my nephew. Orenda's his wife. So, yeah, it's family business, you know, sure. And Morgan Nagler from Whispertown. I think I met her, too. Anyway, this is a Record Store Day from, I don't know, 2016, It's really good. I think you might even still be able to get this on the Saddle Creek site. I'm not sure. But it's a couple of like quasi songs. This single, this is a different recording than the LP version. And I think this one might be a little snappier. The artwork's good on the cover. This is on the Paramount label, their original label. This was their first single that came out, I think, before their first album came out. Love those guys. Another local band, Little Roger and the Goosebumps, backed with Dick Bright and his Sounds of Delight on a little 3-song EP called Kink Size. Dick Bright's there in the middle. That's Little Roger. This is a band I used to go see all the time. And Little Roger and his Goosebumps also are the band. And I've got a copy of it, and I couldn't find it, but it doesn't have a picture sleeve, so they're the ones that do Gilligan Island to the tune of Stairway to Heaven. And if you haven't heard it, I think you can go to YouTube and hear it. But what's his name? Robert Plant said it was his favorite markup. And then, last and least or whatever, Roy A. Loney. Artistic as Hell. 4-song single. This is actually at 33 RPM, but it's a great little piece of music by a great artist. Passed away way too soon, just recently. Okay, so we got the singles taken care of here. I'll put those here. Next up, 4 for dinner. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for dinner. We're going to have, for our dinner party, we're going to have Carolyn Wonderland. She of just being about one of the greatest guitar slingers around, in my humble opinion. We're going to have Emily Duff. Did she get a picture on this? I don't think her... Oh, yeah, her picture's on the back. Her picture's on the back. Emily is a lady that I met on Facebook because of a mutual friend. She lives in New York City, raising a couple of kids, and plays great music, writes great songs. She had 2 LPs come out, and I think if you count up all the digital songs that she's got released on Bandcamp under the Emily Duff Band, I think it comes to 99 or 100 songs total, but most of them are only available digitally. She released 2 of her CDs. She had pressed to vinyl and released them, but they got sold out. I think she only did a few hundred copies. Luann Barton. We're going to have a hell of a. Oh, Emily, by the way, is a hell of a cook, too. So that would be one of the other reasons to put her in the dinner party. Luann Barton. First time I saw Luann Barton with the Blues Broads. She's not with them anymore, but she was with them the first time I saw them, and she just has a attitude that I like. Came waltzing out on stage in her high heels and flicked the cigarette out into the crowd. And last and certainly not least for my dinner party is Shelley King. Kick Up Your Heels. You can see Shelley King on YouTube on the solo I don't know what it's called. She was doing a weekly hangout on YouTube and Facebook trying to make money during the pandemic. But I originally saw her when she opened for Marcia Ball, the Freight and Salvage, 2015, 2014, quite a while ago. And I bought everything of hers I could find, and she's real good. Okay, number 9. Number 9, without a doubt, Tony Bennett. I mean, we lost a lot of people. Every year you lose a lot of people in the music and entertainment. Tony Bennett, he'd been around a long time. And I actually got this record this year. It's an old The Beat of My Heart, Tony Bennett. It is a real drum-based Tony Bennett album. Pretty good one. Okay, number 10, What Country? Oh yeah, 10 and 11. These are the ones I'm not real sure about. But anyway, What Country? If I could only listen to music from one country, it would have to be the USA. Although I would sure miss a lot of English acts. And maybe a few more, but mostly English acts that I would be missing. If I can't imagine any reason why I would actually only listen to music from one country, but it would be the USA. 3 vinyl community channels that I discovered this year, and I apologize, I don't have any links below. I don't have any fancy things I see a lot of people doing that I haven't learned how to do yet. But the Jazz Bums, George Borden, and the Vinyl Community Gunkles are all 3 of my favorites. And I don't know if I discovered them in 2023 or maybe earlier than that, but I have trouble with dates and stuff so I just don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Next question. Is an album you bought as a teenager? Well, here we go. Reuben and the Jets. Is this the Mothers of Invention recording under a different name in a last bitter attempt to get their cruddy music on the radio? Yes, it is. Not only that, it's got a beautiful picture of Frank. I bought this in 1968 when it came out. I was a 19-year-old kid, and it was probably my 4th or 5th Frank Zappa record. I bought the first 2. The first time I ever saw a Frank Zappa record in the store, I saw both Freak Out and Absolutely Free. And Absolutely Free was brand new, and Freak Out, of course, had just been the year before. I tried to convince them that Absolutely Free meant that they had to give it to me, but it didn't work. Anyway, keeping on down the road here with show a record, a funk or soul record, and boy, you can't do any better than this one right here. The Daptone Super Soul Review live at the Apollo. This is 3 records of pure dynamite. It really is. Anyhow, next question. Everybody has it? Well, I've got this one here, Michael Jackson. I think almost everybody has that one. I'm pretty sure almost everyone has that one. What else have we got here? A record I don't think anybody else has got, and I kind of got two of them here. One we got live at the Townhouse. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different bands, each doing a couple of cuts live, recorded at the Townhouse in Emeryville, California. It's just wonderful, if you want to know the truth. And this here Oxford American Texas Love Letter. Now, Oxford American is a magazine that annually has been putting out a CD, usually of a southern state, full of music. And I don't know, quite a while ago, they put this out and they released it as a limited edition of 400. Only they had 500 of them pressed. And then about 10 years later, they offered that last 100 up for bigger bucks, if you know what I mean. And that's what I got. I've got number 470 out of 500. But it's actually 470 out of 400, but it's number 70 of the... They were all pressed at the same time. They just held 100 back. Okay, so female artist that I bought in 2023. And this one just came in last week. Brand new. Shelley King. Madam Mystic. And look, she even autographed it for me because she is a sweetheart. Bought this directly from her website. Write a note on the order. She'll autograph it. She called me up once because I asked her a question on the website, and it was Shelley called me up to answer it. So, going on. Oh, next question is I'll put my 90s classic up there for you to look at. The next question is the favorite video that I posted and the favorite video I watched. Well, it's no questions about the favorite video I posted is the one I'm not even in at all. And that is a couple of weeks ago. I posted a video at Down Home Music. Joel Selvin did a book review of a book he helped write, but Chris Straxwitz, the guy that founded Our Hooli, he actually wrote it, but he passed away before it got published. And it might be 35, 40 minutes. I started off the video showing the wall that they have put in at Down Home Music, showing some of the photos from the history of Our Hooli records. And then Joel Selvin came on and talked to the small crowd there at the record store. And I wasn't planning on shooting it. I was like, oh, my camera works. Let's see if this works. It's not great. You got to crank the volume up a little louder than I would like because I didn't have it turned up quite loud enough. But it's a great book, and Joel tells some great stories. Okay, so that's the favorite one I posted. Now, the favorite video that I've watched, oh boy, I like so many of them, but it's probably one of the times that Gunkles did a live stream when they were drinking, because those are always fun. PB Thal every Friday night, every Sunday night. George Borden. Too many. I don't have one that... I will say that I tend to like to watch the videos that have closed captions because I watch them while I'm listening to music because that's just how I am, I guess. So, 90s classic. Well, there you go. 1990, Grateful Dead, Without a Net. Triple LP. I just got this last year because when it came out in the 90s, I was buying CDs. I kind of started buying CDs in 1985 and was pretty much switched over completely until I started buying records again in 2021. Oh, I'd get one or two occasionally, but not very often. The cover that I would like to walk into. There you go. That's what this one is for. The cover I would like to walk into. Make a Joyful Noise. Mother Earth, Tracy Nelson's first band that she was in, is wonderful. They only made 3, maybe 4 records. This is their first one. Make a Joyful Noise, Living with the Animals. Can't go wrong with either one of them. But that is definitely an album cover. It's a kind of a out in the trees by the pond. It's just be a nice day. All righty. Number 19. We're getting close to the end here. Number 19. Flamin' Groovy's Flamingo. This record was a record that after it came out in 1970, I played over and over and over again. In 1970, I was living in a house. I think that generally there were 14 or 15 of us living there. And we had the world's greatest broom band. You know, a bunch of assholes standing around with brooms acting like they're rock stars. And this was our soundtrack album to Leviathan, the world's greatest broom band from the 70s. Lovely, lovely record. Flamingo by the Flamin' Groovies. And last but not least, I think I missed one. Well, is it there? Oh, they're both here. That's right. Albums released in 1970. Well, this was my first one, Tracy Nelson. It's a really good record on Atlantic Record, on the Atlantic record label, and she does a duet with Willie Nelson on here of "We'll Take Out the Ashes in the Morning," something like that. Great LP. And another 1974 release, Transfusion. The R. Crumb cover makes it. There's a cover I'd like to be in on too, right? Yeah, the R. Crumb cover on the Union Pacific label. And this is just Rave from the Crave, Blast from the Past, Volume 1. Bunch of oldies but goodies, but came out in 1974. Well, that's it. I have recorded my vinyl tag for 2024. Thank you, Rob Walker.